In the heart of Alexandria, where sea winds carry whispers of the gods, a vision is born, not of gold or empire, but of memory itself. The first stones of the great library are laid as the dawn spills over the harbor. Scholars murmur of a place where every word ever spoken will live forever. Yet among the chants of builders and priests, a shadow moves, a warning that every flame of knowledge is born beside its own ashes. And if wisdom could defy death, could it also provoke the wrath of those who rule it? Et si l'histoire refusait d'être oubliée? Years pace, and the library breathes. Alive, endless, insatiable. Scrolls from every land arrive by ship, each carrying a fragment of humanity. But within the halls of silence, envy begins to stir. Knowledge, once pure, starred to divide the minds it feeds. Some whisper that men were not meant to know the language of the gods. Rumors reach the palace. The library's knowledge threatens thrones, temples, and gods alike. Some claim certain scrolls hold forbidden prophecies. Others that they speak of worlds beyond this one. The king demands to read them. And so, the first secrets are sealed under lock. Callimaque dreams of fire. He sees scrolls burning, voices screaming through smoke. He wakes before dawn, drenched in sweat, the sound of waves like crackling flames. And he knows every light the library kindled has also summoned its destroyer. One night, an old Egyptian priest visits the library. He tells Callimaque a prophecy. That fire will return to reclaim what men have stolen from the gods. You built eternity, he whispers, but eternity is jealous. Callimaque listens in silence, knowing the truth has already begun to smolder. The sea that once carried scrolls now carries swords. The Roman banners rise over Alexandria, their crimson cloth, reflecting in the harbor like blood on water. Caesar comes not as a student of knowledge, but as a master of destiny. Yet, amid conquest and chaos, some still whisper, he will burn what he cannot understand. Cleopatra, young and brilliant, seeks alliance in fire. She sees in Caesar not a destroyer, but an instrument of destiny. The library stands silent behind her, its torches trembling as she speaks words that will alter its fate forever. War ignite without warning. Ships burn. Oil spills into the sea, and wind carries embers toward the shore. The library watches as the night turns to gold and red. Was it chance or design? Did fire stray from war, or was it led by unseen hands that feared the immortality of words? The fire reaches the library's edge. Scrolls turn to ash before they can be touched. Voices cry out, not of pain, but of loss. Yet amid ruin, some run into the smoke, carrying what they can. Knowledge does not burn quietly. It screams through every tongue, a flame. When dawn arrives, silence reigns. Smoke quall above blackened stone, and Caesar's men claim victory. Cleopatra watches from the ruins, her eyes reflecting both triumph and mourning. In the ashes, Callimaque kneels, holding a single unburned scroll, the last breath of what once was eternity. They were cruel. They said the library was gone. They were wrong. From the ruins, Cleopatra walks barefoot across marble still warm with ash, her breath steady, her resolve colder than stone. She will rebuild not for the gods, nor for scholars, but for herself, to remind the world that Egypt remembers. And so, from the embers of Alexandria, a queen decides to resurrect eternity. Cleopatra summons builders, scholars, poets. The library will rise again, she decrees. But not as before. Its heart will no longer serve the gods of Greece or Rome. It will serve her and Egypt's future. Yet as she gives the order, she feels the tremor of fate beneath her words, the sound of history warning her that fire never dies. It only waits. Watch. Cleopatra knows it. Her library becomes a mirror in which she shows Caesar what she wants him to see. Wisdom, beauty, power intertwined. Every scroll, every word is a weapon of silk and ink. But love written in fire never lasts. Its ashes speak louder than its vows. When Caesar departs, the library stands again, smaller, secret, alive. Yet within its walls, spies move like smoke. Words meant to preserve, truth now serve, deceit. And what was once the temple of wisdom becomes the forge of manipulation. The queen, unknowingly, builds her own undoing. In the end, it is not Rome that burns the library, but destiny. When Caesar falls, Rome turns its back. Cleopatra watches the horizon, her empire fading into myth. She touches the scrolls she once rebuilt and smiles. Knowledge has no master. When her hand lets go, it is not surrender, but prophecy. The library, she knows, will burn again and again, until mankind learns to protect what it fears. Centuries have passed. The empire changed its name, but not its hunger. Rome bows to Christ, and the old gods fade like dust on broken altars. Yet in the heart of Alexandria, one temple still stands. The Serapeum, sanctuary of the remaining scrolls. Here, what is left of the library hides behind statues of forgotten deities, waiting for the courage of one last guardian. Inside the Serapeum, the air smells of dust and devotion. Those who remain speak in whispers, afraid of words that once changed empires. They guard the last fragments of the library, not for glory, but for survival. For in this new age, truth itself is heresy. Theophilus preached before the crowd, his voice a storm of conviction. To him, the library is not a monument of light, but a shadow that mocks divine truth. His words unite more than hearts. They summon an army. And so, faith prepares to do what conquest began, to purify the past by fire. The storm breaks. Torches fly, idols shatter, scrolls burn. Theophilus march through the sacred halls, proclaiming victory for God. Hermias kneels among the ashes, clutching a fragment of papyrus, whispering the names of the lost. The library dies once more, not by war, but by righteousness. Morning comes, and the gods are gone. The cross rise where their statues once stood. The Serapeum is now a church, the air heavy with incense and silence. Yet, somewhere beneath the floor, ashes whisper still. For truth is not dead. It only waits, buried beneath the names of men who believed they saved the world. In the new world of crosses and crowns, one woman dares to teach what men have forbidden. Her name is Hypatia, daughter of a mathematician, mother of ideas. In her classroom, numbers and stars still sing, even as the city outside drowns in faith and fear. Her words are quiet, but they ignite hearts brighter than any torch. Night after night, Hypatia climbs to the rooftop to chart the heavens. While others seek salvation, she seeks patterns, truth unbent by prayer or sword. Yet even the stars seem to dim under the weight of judgment. Still, she whispers, the universe does not belong to gods or men. It belongs to understanding. But truth in the wrong age is treason. Rumors spread that Hypatia practices witchcraft, that her science defies God. Theophilus is gone, but his spirit lives in zealots. They gather in the streets, chanting, fearing what they cannot comprehend. The library is long ashes. Now they come for the mind that kept its fire alive. They drag her from her chariot. The streets echo not with screams, but with the sound of a civilization devouring its last light. Knowledge dies quietly. In whispers, in tears, in the breaking of chalk beneath trembling hands. And then there is silence. The library is gone, its keepers lost, its words scattered by time. Yet somewhere in the dust, the echo of Hypatia's voice remains, unbroken, unburned. Knowledge cannot die. It only sleeps, waiting for another dawn. Another mind brave enough to ask again, what if truth is eternal? What if truth is eternal? Time swallows empires. What the Romans could not preserve, the centuries bury. The city of Alexandria stands, older, smaller, quieter. No one remembers the faces of Callimaque, Cleopatra, or Hypatia. Yet under the sand, under the stones, something waits. A silence too deliberate to be accidental. When the conquerors enter the city, they find more than gold or stone. They find shelves, scrolls upon scrolls, words from vanished tongues. Some call it treasure. Others call it temptation. And soon the question rises once more. Should these words live, or should they burn? From Medina, the Caliph Omar sends his answer. If these writings agree with the Book of God, they are redundant. If they oppose it, they are heresy. Either way, burn them. The words travel across deserts and centuries, sealing the library's last chapter. But history, as always, will argue who spoke them and who obeyed. In Alexandria, orders are obeyed. The scrolls are carried to the public baths, thousands of them, used to heat the water for months. Steam rise where wisdom once spoke. No one counts the words lost, for none dare admit what was done. The air smells not of fire, but of history turning to vapor. When it is over, Alexandria sleeps again. The conquerors leave, the smoke fades, the sea returns to its silence. But deep, beneath the ruins, under layers of time, something remains. A hidden chamber, sealed before the flames, untouched by conquerors or sands. Perhaps the library did not die. Perhaps it waits, dreaming beneath the dust, for those who still dare to ask. Le désert ne garde rien, sauf les secrets qu'il choisit. Depuis des millénaires, le sable recouvre ce que le monde a oublié, les voix, les rêves, les incendies du passé. Mais un matin, alors que le soleil d'Alexandrie frappe la terre comme un tambour d'or, une équipe d'archéologues découvre un éclat de pierre gravé d'un œil. Ce n'est pas un simple vestige. C'est un regard qui observe depuis 20 siècles. Dans la chaleur étouffante, les pelles se figent, les respirations se suspendent. Le passé vient de répondre à l'appel. Et si la bibliothèque d'Alexandrie n'avait jamais brûlé, mais s'était simplement cachée pour survivre à ceux qui la craignaient? Sous la surface, la chaleur devient silence. L'équipe creuse, heure après heure, jusqu'à ce qu'un souffle glacé s'échappe d'une fissure dans la roche. Devant eux, une porte scellée, ornée d'un œil et d'une flamme. Leïla sent son cœur battre comme un écho antique. Elle comprend qu'elle ne découvre pas. Elle réveille. Chaque grain de sable glisse comme une seconde qui s'efface. Derrière cette paroi, peut-être, repose l'âme d'un monde que le temps n'a jamais réussi à tuer. Lorsque la porte s'ouvre, l'air expire, lourd, ancien, sacré, une odeur d'encre, de cire et de poussière millénaire envahit la galerie. Des jarres de pierre intactes s'alignent sous la lueur des lampes. Leïla avance lentement, le regard noyé dans l'irréel. Elle tend la main et fleure un seau brisé. À l'intérieur, un rouleau parfaitement conservé y passit, son nom tracé dans le silence. Alan ne dit rien. Il comprend lui aussi que le feu n'a pas détruit la mémoire, il l'a protégée. La bibliothèque n'a pas disparu. Elle a survécu en se cachant du monde. Parmi les manuscrits, un rouleau se distingue, plus récent, plus clair. Leïla le déroule avec précaution. Les lettres grecques racontent une autre histoire, celle d'un mensonge devenu vérité. La bibliothèque n'a jamais brûlé. Les prêtres, les philosophes, les gardiens ont organisé sa disparition pour sauver le savoir du pouvoir. Chaque incendie, chaque conquête, chaque fanatique n'a détruit qu'une illusion, un leurre destiné à détourner les regards. Le feu n'a pas effacé la connaissance. Il a protégé le secret le plus dangereux, la mémoire de toute chose. À l'aube, Leïla contemple la mer. Le soleil d'Alexandrie renaît, doré comme une promesse tenue. Derrière elle, la nouvelle Bibliothèque. Alexandrina s'élève, reflet moderne d'un rêve ancien. Elle ferme les yeux et entend les murmures. Callimaque, Cléopâtre, Hypatie, tous vivent encore, dans chaque mot sauvé, dans chaque esprit qui ose chercher. L'histoire n'a pas de fin, elle s'endort, se réécrit, se réveille, et tandis que les vagues se brisent sur les pierres, une voix semble chuchoter au vent. Le feu ne détruit pas la vérité, il la rend éternelle.